was just talking about you guys. I'm so glad you stayed with us because I've got some fantastic gentlemen on the inside with me to discuss this week's top stories. Let's welcome to the review a sport journalist from 98.1 FM and a former player, coach and selector, Claude Phillip, with us on the review. Good evening, guys. So good to have you again.
Pleasure.
What a week in sport. Certainly lots to talk about. Cricket seems to be topping the agenda this week. Super 50, TNT.
Yes.
You want to I think I'll start. Indifferent start to TNT. Very disappointing that we lost on Sunday to Barbados. Are we totally surprised? No. The Bajans came out with their A game and they played brilliantly. Dwayne Smith, Jonathan Carter did very, very well, and their bowling certainly backed them up. We certainly played or paid for not respecting our bowling by going in with one spinner, giving the spinner 4 overs, and technical issues, for example, Jason Mohammed batting before Dinesh Ramdin. All in all, we lost, terrible defeat, but we bounced back to beat CC's, we bounced back to play
Leeward Islands.
We bounced back and we defeated Leeward Islands, thankfully, and we play CCC on Sunday. Hopefully we'll win that.
Well, I'm a fan, and basically as a fan, I want to know who's to blame. Claude, can you tell me who's to blame? I heard lots of people name jumping up.
I probably wouldn't use the word who's to blame.
So you're not going to blame anybody?
I think we played a bad match.
A bad match? So you're blaming everybody?
Right.
You're being a team player today.
Obviously the captain will be the person that would have to take the
so
blame.
Dwayne Bravo is the bad boy today?
Yeah, has
so
to.
To speak. Yeah.
Has to. Because I think ultimately the captain is the one who sets the tone on the field. I think he made some technical errors definitely by not bowling out Imran Khan. In addition to that, how could you send in Jason Mohammed before Dinesh Ramdin? How could you send in Ravi Rampal before Dinesh Ramdin? We panicked very, very early in the match. And we need to understand the importance of time. There's always time in cricket, and great players understand that. And we were just flat, and we lacked luster.
And we saw two games so far. In your mind, do you see anything going forward that could suggest that we could get the title this year?
Yes, I believe that the Trinidad team could qualify for the semi-finals. In today's match, if we could have a no decision, it would be in Trinidad's favor, and it would be everything will be in their hands to win the match against the CCC.
But you see them going all the way. Windward Islands defending champion. Oh, there's a vacant spot at the top there now for a team. Are you honestly seeing Trinidad and Tobago from what you've seen so far?
Yes, I believe that the Trinidad and Tobago team, as I said earlier, could be in the final 4. You know, if we're going to reach further than that in terms of winning the semi-final and go on to win the final.
Okay, wants to bowl a ball in there.
Oh, definitely. Remember, last year we were unceremoniously dumped out of the semi-final by CCC.
Don't remind us.
Yeah, we were hammered by the Barbados B team, well, the CCC.
Yeah. Yes.
And they can do it again. The good thing with this tournament is that we're playing just about average, which means that there's room for improvement. So I expect us, I'm going on a limb here, I expect us to blitz CCC, because we are kind of halfway embarrassed by the way we're playing. We're not looking sharp. So I expect us to blitz CCC on Sunday, and let's see what will happen in the semi-final and the final. I'm not sure if we can win it. Guyana look really, really sharp, along with Barbados and Jamaica to a lesser extent.
So Kern's third umpire light seems to be indecisive right now. Well, real quickly, gentlemen, you guys are captains of the team. What changes would you make going forward?
Well, in this present team here that they played, I think I'm more in favor with the selectors with the present team that we have. With
You're happy with what we have so far?
Yeah, Sunil Narine coming in place of Jason Mohammed, and we also had another replacement, I can't call it.
Another change, Yannick Carrier coming in.
Otley coming in. That's it.
Yeah.
More looks like...
You agree with that? Kevin Cooper out, I mean...
I like Kevin Cooper in my squad. He didn't have a good game, but then who did that day?
Yeah.
With the ball.
Yeah.
So Kevin needs to be in my team. The change of pace. I think he's a smart bowler, so he has to be in my squad. I would consider dropping Adrian Barrett.
Adrian, my word. Kern, you're stepping on thin ice right now. Tread cautiously on.
Yeah, put Evan Lewis, leave him there with Lendl Simmons open. I would even toy with the idea of putting maybe Yannick Otley to bat at 3. I think he's a smart cricketer.
All right, so you're making that bold assertion that Adrian Barrett perhaps should be dropped. Who's going to come in for Adrian?
Well, Yannick Otley is going to bat at 3. Who would I bring back in? I'll bring back in Kevin Cooper.
Kevin Cooper.
Yes.
All right, so you're definitely missing Kevin Cooper. Let's get to the back of our section now. Kirk Edwards sent home from Barbados. Sent home. Is he injured? What's the real story?
Well, from what the little I would have read on the papers was that there was a uniform issue, you know.
So you sent home your best batsman because of a uniform issue? For some reason, I'm just not buying that.
You see, James, the manager of the Barbados team is a former Barbados cricketer, and he was a former policeman.
Yeah.
You understand? So it seems as though he brought his police regimental style into the Barbados team.
And looking at Floyd
Edwards' pick.
And Floyd Reefer, old man Floyd Reefer, I'm sorry for calling him an old man, retiring. 10 seconds. Tell me.
Yes, well,
I think he has more juice in him. What?
Yes, I think it's about time that he does it and give one of the youngsters a chance in place of him.
Happy to see him go.
Yeah, happy to see him go. And if you want to stay on as a coach, I have no problem with that.
All right, so maybe gone, maybe remaining as coach. It is a review. We're going to come right back with some more inside the discussion room. Hey, well, thank you guys for sticking around. We're here with Kern Tyson, sport journalist extraordinaire, and Claude Phillip, former coach, selector. He's an everything man when it comes to cricket. And of course, we spoke about his Super 50 chances a while ago. Now we're going to move across to a topic that has been bubbling on the fire in Trinidad and Tobago sport for the past week. And that is the issue with the World Cup players. And we heard Brent Sancho. He sent out a release last week. And Raymond Timke, he's responded to that. What do you think so far about his response? I'm not sure if you heard the response, but he basically said it wasn't worth his time responding at first. What do you make of that?
It's not worth his time responding. I mean, no man. This has been going on since a Rock of Ages was a pebble. You know, 8 or 9 years of this.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, 8 or 9 years of this nonsense going on where these guys haven't gotten their money. Okay, it's fine. The TTFA, they're getting on their feet, and we are seeing some lights at the end of the tunnel. But we have to find a way to pay these guys, because this is an embarrassment to us as a nation, to the Ministry of Sport, to TTFA. Find a way. I don't know whether they decide to sell oranges or Tambron balls, but find a way to pay the gentlemen. Brent Sancho, why should he be all putting country first and, you know, let's just see where the football goes? No. We need our money.
And now I'm quoting from him here. He said, Sancho is lacking common sense, and this is the actual quote that I saw in the newspaper.
I disagree with what you saw in the newspaper, and that, as Stern rightly said, that the guys, they owe their money since the 2006 World Cup. To this year, that will be something like 8 years.
So you're buying the TTFF's excuse that, well, I'm calling it an excuse because it seems to be repetitive these days, and that they're lacking funds and they really have nowhere to pay them from. Is that valid?
No, I'm sure they're lacking funds, but you have to find the money. I mean, for example, if I owe you $50,000, yeah, I'm lacking funds, but I have to cough it up. It's just the way things, you know, that's the way it is. So it was not Tim Key's smartest hour by responding like that. He was certainly not prudent.
All right, well, let's take him out of the naughty corner for just a bit. And the TTFF, the TTFA rather, they had their conference this weekend, and he spoke about, you know, revamping the constitution of the TTFA. You think it's needed, or well, he said he's not going to reinvent the wheel, but do you think it's necessary?
Well, he may certainly have to reinvent the wheel if you're looking at his predecessors. But it's certainly necessary to change things. We can't do things as usual in football. Yeah. We claim that we have the talent, but we need some structure in place, and I think he may need to maybe reinvent the wheel.
All right, well, I'm going to head on the Pro League front now, and Kern, I'm tempted to leave you out of this discussion. I really am tempted to leave you out of the discussion. And that is our W Connection losing their first game of the season by Point Fortin Civic Centre, which happens to be Kern's backyard.
Right. Well, I think Mr. Williams must have felt that I put goat mouth on him.
Yes, I remember last time. Yes,
I said
this is the culprit right here.
Yeah,
culprit next to Mr.
I said that W Connection is so far away from the others that league, the Premier League, is not as competitive as I would have liked it to be. And here it is, they have lost to Point Fontaine, is it?
But now, in fairness, second place seems to be a rat race of sorts because so many teams, Point Fontaine in there, Police in there, competing for that second spot. It's like bulls running. Everybody's racing for second.
Let me say this. It takes a team from the deep to stop the W Connection juggernaut. It takes a team from the deep, the pride of Point Fortin. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
to do that.
Tell me something. Point Fortin seems to be a graveyard for teams these days. Fast, the recent games. What's happening in Point Fortin? Why can't teams win in Point Fortin?
It's like going to play at the Etihad, or maybe the Stadium of Lights, or, well, not Old Trafford, forget that.
You're comparing Mahaika over into the Etihad.
At the Etihad or Stamford Bridge. It is not easy going down there. We are very clannish down there. And excuse me for saying we. We're very clannish there, and we back our team 100%. Ronald Carrington, McCray and all of them, they have a goal of getting this team to the CONCACAF Champions League. And I expect them to do it in the near future. But expect better things from Point Fortin. They went through a blip earlier in the season, but all that is good. But beating Connection, which is my second favorite team, which should certainly give them...
Buying his favorites right now.
Should certainly give them the impetus.
It won't get you season tickets, though.
No, it wouldn't, sadly. Give them the impetus.
Well, keeping our eyes on the Pro League, Central FC, during the January transfer window, they seem to have brought in the Galaxy. Loads of stars, but yet still they can't seem to buy a win.
No, things has not improved for them really. After bringing in these people, you would think that they would be, in the first 5 or 6.
I mean, that's Guerra, Plaza,
these sort of big players. But again,
Johnson Marshall,
things haven't
but a winner seems to be
for them since.
The problem with it, of course, you're building a team ethos, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you can't build a team ethos. So there's a bunch of stars. You need the laborers also in the mix.
Yes.
So and stars sometimes take a while to blend into the team, and that's why football is not singles tennis. It's football. So they'll take a while. I think they'll eventually hit their straps. But like Manchester United, they'll find their way eventually.
Now, I pounded Caledonia EIA for not doing too well this season, but they seem to have, signed some reinforcement. They brought in an American talent.
Yeah, Lundy?
Yeah,
he apparently is a very skillful player. He plays with both feet. Spoke to Jamal Shabazz last week, and he's very happy. He's saying that maybe the exploits in the Champions League last year is now taking effect on the team, where they're struggling a bit now. But knowing him as a good coach, astute coach,
you're trusting his decision making.
I certainly do. I don't always agree with it, but if there's one person I'll trust, is Jamal Shabazz.
All right, 30 seconds remaining, and I've got a knockout punch here. Box up, what? Somebody wants to kill him this time. Is this something that we should take seriously,
box up,
or do we
He seems to be getting himself into hot water every so often. Every time you think, well, all right, everything is everything. Finds himself in hot water.
He lives in hot water, sir. He lives there.
Yeah.
He doesn't get involved in hot. He lives in hot water.
I mean, he's a promoter. He manages fighters, but he seems to love the combative arena.
No, but you must take a threat like that seriously. You have to. I mean, secretly you may just say, but you must take a death threat seriously.
Yeah. Well, we're out of time now. Tell me real quickly, in 10 seconds or less, does he have a point with his allegations that he's brought forward of financial impropriety, or is he blowing smoke?
Well, the boxing fraternity, to a lesser extent, always of late seems to be having problems with financial
So he has a point?
Yeah.
He has a point.
He has a point.
Yes.
Point.
Yes.
And point.
Yes.
Hey, thank you for sticking around. We're here discussing some of the week's top stories on the review. Don't go anywhere. We've got much more coming up for you later in the program.